A listener note. This story contains adult content and language. If you're listening to this podcast, you might want to go back and start at episode 1. This is a story being told in chronological order. Therefore, you might miss some details or context that are pretty important to the story. From Exclave Media, this is The Sicario Effect. I'm Jonathan Branstein.
Se busca a Pablo Escobar. Recompensa 2.700.
Con John Jairo Velázquez Vázquez. ¿Usted por qué se entrega de nuevo a la justicia?
Porque no le debo nada a la justicia.
A Colombian hired killer known as Popeye has been released from prison.
Hola guerreras y guerreros, yo soy su amigo John Jairo Velázquez Vázquez, conocido como Popeye.
Alias Popeye, mi señora.
Yo soy John Jairo Velázquez Vázquez Popeye, la
Episode 7. Growing Up Colombia. After discussing the Narco-tour project with Juliana, Carolina, Angie, and her husband Stephen Molina, I felt I was beginning to understand a little bit more about the bigger picture. It was slowly coming into focus for me. However, when the conversations shifted towards their personal backgrounds, I started to understand things even better. There was a point during the interviews where they each revealed something personal about their past. Here's Juliana Uribe. Did you know anybody that was ever kidnapped?
Yes, my grandfather was kidnapped by FARC, and they killed him.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Yes.
When did this happen?
It happened in 1991. He was kidnapped for 6 months.
Yeah.
And when the police came, these guerrillas that were called the Frente 36 had this idea: if any policeman comes, you kill the person you have kidnapped. It's like the political thing to do for them. And my uncle was also kidnapped for 6 months. And then I think they released him.
Really?
Yes, because my family sent money. And
they had to pay a ransom.
Yes. Ugh. Yes, so it's difficult for some to forgive these people. And I think that's the problem here.
This is Angie Rivera and her husband, Stephen Molina.
In Medellin, hay una cultura.
In Medellin, there is a culture that everyone have one person in the family that was in narco-traffic.
Amongst your friends, do people talk about Pablo Escobar in a positive way or in a negative way?
Okay, let me enter here. I'm here. I'm from Envigado. My dad, he was killed when I had 1 year and a half. He was a narco-traffic.
Your father was?
Yes, my father, my stepfather also, and he was killed also. My dad started narco-traffic with Pablo Escobar. They were really close friends. He really take care or like my father. But also my father was a really kind person. He was in the narco-traffic, but he was a person that always help people and give money or food to people around the neighborhood he lived.
No question they had a conscience and about poverty and things like that.
Yeah, so when my dad, he went to a place where Pablo Escobar was fighting against the other cartel that was here in Medellin called Los Pepes.
Yeah, sure.
So Los Pepes, they were also friend of my father. They were against Pablo Escobar. So my father, everyone loves him, even in that industry. So when they start fighting, they told my dad, okay, you are with Pablo Escobar or you are with us. So my dad was, no, okay, I'm friend with Pablo Escobar, I'm friend with you guys. So I'm going out from Medellin until you, I don't know what happened with your fight here. So he went to Cartagena, and in Cartagena, the person that was having the control of narco-trafficking in Cartagena thought that my dad wanted to have be the person of taking control of Cartagena. So he took him as a rival, and being like supposedly being a friend. Okay, no, it's really nice. A person from Medellin here, and in one day, my father went to a business, to a dealership he had in Cartagena, and
like a car dealership.
Yeah, car dealership, and people and a lot of people with arms, with guns, entered to the place and killed him, and was the people of that person. So me and my family, we just grew up with people surrounding us of narco traffic.
Sure.
All the people that were around us, they were involved in narco traffic. My mom, my aunts, friends, my uncle was in narco traffic. All the friends of my mom and my aunts, they were really big guys here in Medellin. I went to farms with really heavy people. One time I was in a farm with 20 bodyguards of that person, and sometimes we just have to pack anything at reach, quickly get out of that farm. 2 farms from that, enter to another farm, because there was a alert that somebody was about to attack, something like that, with cars with the thick windows.
Bulletproof cars, probably.
Yeah. Bulletproof. So we grew up around that life.
Wow.
I grew up with that. My stepfather, my mom, she remarried again, and this person was different. He wasn't the typical narco traffic person, because firstly he needed to go out the country because he was starting to have a lot of money, and the big people here start saying like, okay, this guy, I don't know how he's getting really strong, so we need to take him out of the way. He had a lot of money. He have even an airplane. He have a lot of farms in different places, but he was a steady man. He was an educated man. Yeah. He have a suit. It's different from a narco-traffic person here with a big rings or big things. It's typical, right? You see a people here, a person here, and you say, oh, he must be in the narco-traffic because the way he talk, the way he does thing, the way he pull out money from his pocket. That's it. I know that because I have seen that through my childhood. So my stepfather, he was different. He was doing a big business. I think to not just to the United States, but also to Europe. Because we travel a lot. When I was young, I was like 7, 8, 9, 10. Mm-hmm. I live in United States. I live in Brazil. I live in Italy, and I live in Spain.
Wow!
Just 2 months before he get to us, because he has to take a lot of go to a different places to get to the point that we were waiting for him. Just my mom, my brother, and my sister. That she was just a baby, and that's what happened. And we travel to all that places, but we didn't come here to Colombia because of some threats.
Yeah.
Once we come back here to Cali, and we were in Cali, and
were you from Medellin, or were you from?
No, I'm from Medellin.
Medellin. Okay, sorry. Yeah.
Yes. And we were here we went to Cali. We were like for a month or a couple of months vacations. So when we were going in 2 cars to a farm, and when we stopped at the lights, there was a car that put in front of the car where my stepfather was with my mom, with a cousin, and there's two people that get out of the car and took him from the church. The other one went to get the cousin.
Mm-hmm.
The cousin he was shot like five shoots. 5 shoots.
5 shots
at the face.
Your cousin
and the cousin and my stepfather. He get out of the chair like that. He just ripped some of the chair, and he tried to run and to I don't know, slightly get into the bus. So because there was a bus in the side waiting the lights, but when the guy just turned and shot him, the bullet entered here and just got out here, and we were in the car in the back, in the car in the back. So we see all that picture, all that movie, or that happened. And somebody said that somebody called and announced that he was in Cali, and they just sent the hitmen to kill him because he was getting a lot of money.
So to go back, I mean, that story is remarkable, and thank you for sharing it. I have a couple of questions.
Yes.
The first is, I can't imagine being in the backseat of a car when someone's killed. It must be. Did you have nightmares for a long time afterwards? How do you process that? I mean, how old were you?
No, I was 10 or 11 years old.
That's a very formidable age. So how do you deal with it?
No, I think if I don't remember if I've had nightmares. I have always remembered how it happens. And you know, to be honest with you, as I always share, if it wasn't because of God that entered into my family and changed everything, I don't know what would have happened. Because my brother, he's into that mentality of my father, of being like my father, or Pablo Escobar. My dad, my brother get into that mentality. But I wasn't like that. I wanted to say, I think it must be something else. I don't want to have his life. And when God get into my family, He changed my mom. He changed our way of thinking, and I don't know. He separated us from all of that people that were involved in narco traffic. Some of them they went to jail. Some of them were killed. Some of them, they were really good friends, but I don't know, we stopped talking about them and not knowing about them anymore.
What do you do?
I'm a preacher.
No.
Yes.
For real?
Yes.
Even more interesting. This is Carolina Restrepo. Did you ever have relatives that were kidnapped or...
No, relative, no. But I have a story that, like, a part of my mother family was involved in. I mean, okay. My mother had a cousin, and she ended up marrying one of the brothers of the Ochoa's clan.
Wow.
Yeah, and...
One of the 3 brothers? The main ones?
Yeah.
Really? Which one? You don't have to say it if you don't want to, but...
No.
Okay.
But the older one.
Is he still alive?
No.
Oh.
And, well, she ended up marrying him for my family, for my grandparents, for my uncles, for my mom. It became so difficult to deal with that. And it became like a taboo.
Yeah.
It became something really, really weird to talk about because you couldn't know if they were doing something bad or no at that time. And even now that so many years have passed, you're afraid to talk about it. You're like, oh my God, people are going to like point you and say that, oh my God, your family was involved. But actually, no. She was married with him. We didn't know anything about it. And at some point, they just grew apart. They rarely talk and all of that. But in that case, it's weird because I know him. I went to his house. I know his daughters. I know his family. And all of that. And you're like, oh my God, I can't believe this guy is bad. And he did all of that wrong stuff. But it's strange to talk about it. It's weird just to say, oh my God, my family, like a little next to them. And
are you ashamed of that?
I don't know if I'm ashamed. I'm just like, well, in a some level, yes.
I understand. Yeah.
But I don't really am ashamed because I mean I didn't know anything.
No,
I no. Well, I didn't. Wasn't even born yet.
Yeah.
My mom and my father and my uncles and everything of that, they also didn't know anything at that point. But all that I know, all that I heard, it's because family reunions, because I asked to my mom, I asked to my aunts, and because of what you read in papers and all of that.
Sure.
But I talk about it like in a normal way because I don't feel it like really, really, really related with me.
Yeah. But you also shouldn't feel a stigma.
I mean, when you talk about it and when you say like, oh my God, I know los Ochoas. Is it something? There is always like, huh?
Yeah.
That kind of weird look and all of that stuff.
Have you ever met somebody who's come up, who's found out, who's known this about you and has gotten angry at you or said, no,
never.
Yeah, exactly.
Never, because also my generation, like I said, we know about it, we talk about it, but here Medellin is it's a tiny city.
Yeah.
Actually. And a lot of the people here in, like you said, the Poblado area of Medellin, we like know each other. It's really small and close and all of that stuff that
it's a small town.
People know them, and a lot of people are also related to them. But I have never came to find someone that have told me something bad about it.
El día que yo me encontré con Pablo Escobar, mi vida cambió, porque yo amaba conocer a Pablo Escobar. Pablo Escobar para nosotros no era un patrón, no era un líder, no era un padre, era un Dios.
The day John Jairo met Pablo Escobar, it was like a big realization for him because he had such an admiration for this guy. He said that for the people working for the cartel, Pablo Escobar was not the boss. He was not a leader. He was a god. Mm-hmm.
So was it almost like a cult?
Sí.
Yeah.
Ese es el punto. Perfecto. Muy bien.
Yeah, he says that is the point. It was a cult.
Now, I have a question then. So a lot of people who are in cults, when they leave, they get out, they're on the outside, and they feel sometimes used, sometimes they feel like they made a mistake. They feel like regretful. And do you have any of those feelings?
Cuando ya salí en libertad, que empecé a socializar, a ver gente buena, a ver familias, a ver que, por ejemplo, una persona como tú tenía 3 niños.
Once he left prison, that he started, finding and meeting good people outside, being socialized into society, realizing that, someone like you can have a family, can have children. Then he started thinking back and thinking about how the people who was murdered, they had families and they had children. So and in that moment, that's when regret came for him. That's when he really felt regretful.
One of the things in the interview with Popeye, the way he talks about Pablo, and I said this to him, I said, it's it's like you're in a cult.
That he enforced that cult.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's kind of enforcing or giving a force to for the people to get into that cult.
When someone like Popeye, for example, is walking around Medellin, people come up to him, guys, girls taking pictures. He's a rock star. And is it that they are, because of the glamorization of the cartel, that they look at him as a rock star and he got to be a part of it? He knew Pablo Escobar and that makes him cool? Or is it that, they all just think, I don't know.
Well, for me, it's like, I have a very personal opinion about it.
Yeah.
I don't think that it's right for a lot of reasons, because he was a man that killed, and it's not regret about what he did. He tells you, I have killed thousands of people and I don't care, I can sleep at night, fine. For me, it's wrong.
Yeah.
In all the possible ways. But I think that here in Medellin, maybe it's that glamorization that you are talking about. All these telenovelas, all these series, all these things, they have put him in a place that it's going to be really hard to take away from him.
Sure.
Even the news, I think, and all the things that he talk about, and just the fact that he has a YouTube channel. Yeah. It's like, oh my God, this can be happening.
Yeah.
How we can have a guy that's so bad talking to people around the world in that kind of way. YouTube have become one of the largest media.
It's a huge means with which to communicate.
Exactly. And we have a guy that have killed 300 or more people talking about it just fine.
He was a bad guy that did a lot of harm to this country and to this city. And the truth is, seeing him walking through the streets and people like treating him like he was some kind of rock star or movie actor, I don't know. It's really frustrating and it's also sad. That happens a lot here. People see him in the streets and they want to take a picture with him or they want an autograph. So it's sad because it's crazy. He did a lot of bad things to us, terrible things to us.
In some ways, do the cartel members, the guys that are still living and up and around, do they have a responsibility to talk about the past, to sort of open the archives of, so to speak, and find out more about what specifically happened?
Yes, I think they owe it to the victims. What victims want is the truth.
Yeah.
They want to know.
As painful as that may be?
Yes, they want the truth. I think it's their duty to tell what happened, and they owe it to the country and especially to the victims.
Do you think we're living in a time where it's possible to find a place between forgiveness and punishment, or is it one or the other?
I think some people deserve punishment for what they did, yes. But I think forgiveness is the most important thing. You are the only one who's going to suffer.
Yeah, you have
always.
to let it go.
You have to let it go. Popeye, he doesn't care. He talks about who he killed. Like he said, yesterday I went to the supermarket and bought Coke.
Maybe a bad reference because it might be confusing.
Diet
No,
Coke.
I'm kidding.
Diet Coke. But of course, you want him also to be punished. The victims, yes. I forgive you, but you have to pay for what you did. So, yes, it can be something in between. But I think it's not easy for everyone.
Sure.
I believe most of the people prefer punishment.
Yeah.
But most of all, they prefer the truth.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say something. As an American, Forgiveness is a fairly cut and dry kind of thing. Someone harms you, someone does something bad to you. Depending on the severity of it, you can forgive them or not. If somebody murders your family, it's pretty unlikely you're going to forgive them. Yet, Colombia, it's different. Because of its history, because of all of the violence, there's a different kind of culture that has emerged in the last 10 years. And it's one of forgiveness. And it's one that I'm going to talk about further down the road. But it's something that, for me, has been very difficult to wrap my head around because some of the acts of violence are pretty barbaric. And yet, Colombians are managing to find a place in their heart to forgive these people. If you're enjoying the podcast, please subscribe, rate, and review. Seriously, it helps. I hate bothering everybody for this, but I gotta do it. Please visit our website for a full list of credits and some cool bonus materials, like photos, videos, and declassified documents at thesicarioeffect.com. If you're not sure how to spell it, it's the name of the podcast. Or you can follow us on Instagram at The Sicario Effect, or on Twitter at Sicario Effect. There is no the in the handle. And on Facebook at Exclave Media. I'm Jonathan Branstein, your host and writer. The show is produced by me, Caitlin Tyrrell, Ernie Hurtado, and Matt Olson. Our editor is William Broughton. Our engineer, sound design, and mix, Ernie Hurtado. Co-producer, Esteban Orozco. Music composed by Preston Nowakowski. Artwork, Juan Felipe Orozco. Additional music is composed by William Broughton. Interview translator, Alejandro Caseño. Additional translation, Juliet Restrepo, Cristina Madrid. Production support was provided by Daniel Urria. Special thanks to Laura Kate Jones, Mauricio Builes, Alejandro Brugas, Alejandro Doring, Alexandra Doring, Tim Fufus, Tom Freston, Ross Bernard, Kelvin Wells II, Saad Mohseni, Yoshi Obayashi, Jeff Frankel, Stephen Molina, and the fabulous Los Hermanos Orozco. Additional thanks to the Museo Casa de la Memoria in Medellin, the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library, the George Bush Presidential Library and Museum, Michael Pinckney, Mary Finch, Iafit Medellin, Luisa Garces. Also, please visit the Narco Tour project at narcotour.co. That's narcotour.co. This podcast is dedicated to the memory of Guillermo Cano, Anthony Bourdain, and Larry Bresner.